It's elderflower season. There are still flowers out there, and I made a little video because I think you guys are missing the magic of elderflower. Elderberry's great, don't get me wrong, but elderflower, it's one of my favorites. Yesterday I went kayaking and we were on the Galena River. It smelled amazing because lining the river are all of these giant elderberry trees, shrubs, whatever you want to call them. They're not tree size here. They grow to maybe, I don't know, I've seen them pretty tall, like maybe 12 feet. Huge blooms, and it smelled amazing. We're gonna harvest the flowers so that we ensure that we still get berries from the same plant. So this is my elderberry bush. And if I were to just go and cut all these flowers off, I would get 0 berries. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a technique that I learned very many years ago. And what I do is I take the whole bloom, I fold it over on itself, and you got to do this when they're already kind of like at the end. Ooh, they're just falling off. Look, they're literally just falling. We're going to take these and we're going to fold it in on itself and rub. Rub, rub, rub. And what that does is it releases the flowers, but it pollinates them too, and then you still get berries later. Fold and rub. This is more than enough to make some elderflower honey or syrup. And you'll notice there's still some green stems in here. It's okay if there are a few, but you can easily just pick them out. And we're looking for getting as few green stems as possible because that means that we've damaged the plant. So we're trying to be gentle and just get the flowers. We want that pollen, the flowers. We don't want to wash these because then we would wash the pollen off. I want to show you this cute little spider. It's the exact color of the elderflowers. And this little spider wants to escape too. He does not want to become elderflower honey. I've got my elderflower that I collected yesterday, and I let this set out because, you know, it's full of little beetles and spiders like I was showing you, ants. And I wanted them to escape to abandon ship before we dunk them in the drink, right? So what are we gonna dunk these things in? We're gonna use a couple different things today. We're gonna use some vodka, or in this case, we're gonna use Everclear with some water. And then we're also gonna use a local honey. This is by Dandy Bees. We're going to make an elderflower honey, and we're gonna make an elderflower tincture. Both of these have medicinal action, so you'll be able to use these in your home. Where I like to use them in my home is when I'm just starting to get ill. I start to feel a little thing coming on, you know. That's when I'm gonna use elderflower. I often use it in combination with some echinacea. But what elderflower is doing is it's moving, it's ramping up, moving the lymph, it's trying to clear things. So that's why I like to use elderflower in that beginning stage. It pairs really well with the berry. You can use both together. So let's make a tincture. This is a folk tincture. It's super easy. And all I'm going to do here, I do have clean hands. I'm going to go ahead. I've already sterilized this jar. I'm going to just fill it up with these blooms. Fill it up with my elderflower blooms. Right like that, okay? This is super simple. You can totally do this. I've got my distilled water, and that's, you know, about half of the volume. I'm not gonna use all of it. I'm gonna use a little of that. I just want it to go to about half the jar, so I can see it in there, that it's about right there. Now the thing is that as long as you're at about 27% alcohol volume, then you're gonna be okay. It's gonna preserve it. What I've got here is Everclear, and you know, I'm just gonna put it in at about 50%. So I'm gonna put this in at about 50%. Some people just came into the shop, so we're gonna let them come in and shop. Feel free. And I'm doing a video right now, so I will help you guys later.
So sorry.
No, you're totally I'm teaching people how to make an elderflower tincture and an elderflower honey. So you can watch if you'd like. So here I've got my elderflower and I've got my water and my Everclear. I've mixed the water and Everclear at about 50-50. So that's gonna give me 50%. That's above 27%. And we're gonna be safe there. There's not gonna be any icky stuff growing in this jar. Now I'm gonna leave this for 4 to 6 weeks before I use it. Then I can strain it off and there is my elderflower tincture. Put it in a Boston Brown bottle that you recycle and you can use that for your family. Now I've got my elderflowers and another jar, and this time we're going to make an elderflower honey. Honeys, herbal honeys, they can work as medicinal remedies as well. So I'm going to also sterilize this jar with my Everclear. I've got my jar here, and I also have this jar funnel. You can find these a lot of Walmart, Target, that kind of stuff. You can also order them online. I do have also stainless steel ones. They make stainless steel or plastic, and they just fit into these mason jars really easily. So if you need that to fill it up, you can use that. And I'm just going to go ahead and just loosely place my elderflowers in the jar. And this honey, of course, you don't want to give honey to any children who are underage for honey. I think it's 2 and under. But for the rest of your family, you can use this the way that you would that tincture. You can even just put it in some warm water and call it tea. Elderflower is generally safe for most people. So it is a grass herb, generally recognized as safe by the federal government. That means all ages. So we've got our honey here. We've already made our tincture. Now we're going to do this honey. And all that this requires, honey is a preservative, like I said, because it's a sugar. So I'm just going to pour my honey, and it's going to take a while to mix. It's going to take a while to seep down in there. Something that helps is if you heat your honey up, then it's thinner and it will mix in a little better. So I'm just going to use this here and I'm going to mix it in and add some more. It's going to take a while for that. I should have heated it up, shouldn't I? But today we're making this infused honey. It's going to be so good. So we're going to mix it up really good. And you're probably wondering like, oh my God, are those fresh flowers you're putting in that honey? But honey is a preservative, and as long as you don't get a lot of water in there, then it's going to be okay. It's going to leach out because honey is hydrophilic. So if there are any liquids in those flowers, it's going to pull out the liquids from those flowers and infuse it into the honey. I have had 3 waves of customers come through as I was trying to make it, so I'm sorry if it seems a little harried or hectic. I am trying my best. I'm just going to top that off with a little bit more honey. Just right over the top. Ooh, this is so sticky. Oh my God, it's just everywhere. But it's going to be amazing. So if you want to use this as food, you can. If you want to use this as medicine, you can. It's elderflower honey. You can do this. It's super simple. Let me know if you tried it out, and you have a great day.